Alright, in today's video we're going to be covering obviously another gem editor tutorial. This one is going to be focused on objectives. Now, as a precursor, which I believe I've said in other videos, if you're new to the gem editor or need to know some more basics, it's a little hard to follow this video maybe. Depending on where your skill's at in the editor itself, I have previous videos for gem editor basics and whatnot, so please, if you're confused, check those out first before you leave a comment. But if there's something I've missed, then as always, let me know. But getting into it, I'm going to go over very bare bones objectives, but this should be enough for you to incorporate whatever into maybe a mission or a multiplayer battle. I don't know, whatever map you're doing. But nonetheless, we're going to get started with just some random units. Now, objectives can be completed with either like infantry here, or you can use vehicles. I'm just going to be covering infantry in this video just because I feel like more people would be interested in that one. Alright, so we're going to have a little squad here, and looks good to me. Perfect. Now, what we're going to want to do is have this squad capture a zone. The zone will be something that you designate, whatever it may be. So, first, we're going to give our infantry a tag, because you're going to give whatever you want to be completing that objective, or potentially completing that objective, to be assigned a tag. So, as always, you're going to select your units, hit Control T, and then open up the tag menu. We're just going to name this Inf, short for infantry. That's about it. Now, for starting your actual objective, let's just say we want them to take, I don't know, we'll maybe get a couple, what do we got over here? I'll just get a couple, there we go. Cool. Let's say they want to take this little area, I don't know, whatever you may be using. Nonetheless, we just want them to take this area. So, perfect. Now, we're going to want to define the zone for what they're going to be capturing. So, in the F3 menu, you're going to go to what looks like this circle, which says zone. And then down here, you're going to have a circle or a poly. It's going to be a polygon or a circle, depending on what type of zone you want. Doesn't really matter. I'm just going to use a circle, and I'm going to name this capture underscore point. You can name that whatever you want. Just make sure it's something unique to that point. Otherwise, it can get a little confusing. Obviously, you can drag this here. If you use the poly, it'll be like 4 dots for, a polygon, and you can drag each corner wherever you want that. The circle's pretty easy, though. All right, so we're just going to say this area looks pretty good. Now, for setting this up, we're going to go, once you're in you got to have the F3 menu open, and you're going to hit the F9 key. And you're going to come down here to Tasks under Helpers. All right, you're going to open that up, right-click, hit Add, and then name whatever you want. I'm just going to do Objective 1. Cool. Now, this is going to be a primary objective. Most of the time, I think default, you can select this if this is a main goal. If you're doing a more complex mission with maybe some potential side objectives that aren't necessary for the mission, but players can do, then you would uncheck this. But that's obviously more advanced. So for now, we can just check this as primary. The state, we want it to be hidden. And then the point, we will get back to. And under description, here's going to be like what your text says. So you can hit add down here, and we'll just do objective 1 text. Cool. And you can say whatever you want. This is what the player's going to see that pops up on their screen for the objective. I'm just going to say capture the zone. Cool. Hit enter, click save. Okay, perfect. Now we will come back to that point in just 1 second. Now, when the player actually sees the objective, there's going to be like a red circle or something. You don't need to have this, but you really should. It gives the player an indicator of where the objective is located. So what you're going to do is in the F3 menu, you're going to go all the way down to service and then hit pointer here, open that up, and then you can use either one of these. You can use other pointers in other zones or other, menus down here, but this is the most default one, and I think it's pretty simple. So we're just going to drop that there. Now we got to give this objective, or this pointer, a tag itself. So we're going to select that, Control T. I'm just going to name this Objective 1, or I guess we'll be more specific, Objective Pointer, so we don't confuse it with any of the other objective things we've named. Perfect. Now, here's going to be the important part. We're going to go back to F9, open up Tasks, and then point here, you're going to want to name it the same thing that you named your pointer. because this is going to be what, pointer you want, if at all, to bring up, so the player will only see it while this objective is active. Otherwise, that like red circle over there would just be on the map at all times. So we're going to do objective underscore pointer. So I double check that's what it was named. Cool. Okay, so now all of that is set up. And it's time for the actual script. So we're going to come over here to trigger, right click, start a new trigger. We're just going to once again do an objective 1, whatever you want to name it. And this one's going to be simple. It's going to be a 2 trigger event just for this one objective. So the first one is just going to be you actually showing like the player that this is an objective they need to go after. Because if you remember in the F9 menu, when we put the state to hidden, that means that when the mission starts, the player won't see that objective. So they won't see the circle, they won't see like your little text bar or anything in their menu. Now, if you want them to see it off the bat, you can obviously just put that to show. But in case you don't, this is how you'll, call that. So we're going to need to go down to event. And now you're going to want to, that is a lie. It's not event. It has been a little bit since I've been in this, in the gem editor itself. We're going to come down to scene. Okay, scene, and then go to task. Now, the name is going to be what you named your objective, objective 1. And then we want it to be that it shows the player it's here. Now, I'm just going to set a little delay so it doesn't show them right away. Otherwise, that kind of negates putting the hidden factor in the first place. And also, if you want to move things above each other right here, you can't drag and click. You select it, and then you hold the Alt key, and then hit the up arrow. And that's how you move those. If you ever need to reorder some commands, so you don't have to like go back through and delete everything. So we're going to start it. There'll be a slight delay, and then it'll show the player that objective. Now, for the player to complete that objective, we're going to do a new trigger. Objective 1, I'm going to do complete. Okay, so the condition here, you're going to right click, go to entities, down here at the bottom, double click that. Now we're going to give the tag of the entity that we want to be, in this case, taking this objective. So we're going to go to tag, that's going to be our infantry. The zone they'll be taking the objective in, that's going to be our zone that we called capture underscore point. Player, none of this really matters. In this case, the state, we want them to be not dead. We're going to want it to be greater than or equal to, and we can say at least 2. So in summary, this will mean that for this command, because a condition in brief just means these conditions have to be met before any of the commands here are executed. Because if you just have a command, when you hit start, every command will be executed. Now this condition is just going to say, our tag infantry has to get to the zone capture point, be not dead, and there has to be greater than or equal to at least 2 of these units for this condition to be met. You can obviously change this number, but in case you want, at least a certain amount, then this will be, there has to be at least 2, otherwise it will not fulfill itself. Now, once that condition's met, we're going to come down here, and then we're going to go to task, go to objective 1, and then we're going to go to complete. Perfect. And then if you want to take this one step further, and this could just be something you add on, maybe if this is the last objective in your mission, you can put a slight delay, and let's say, 5 seconds. And then we can go into scene, and I believe this is going to be, game status. Nope, I lied. It's going to be game over. The one right above that, so scene, game over. And then you can do the result, and if they say mess up this objective that you set up, you can do a lose condition, but since this is our trigger that we did objective 1 complete, we'll do a win condition, so we'll select the win, and then we can give them another message here, and let's just say win. You did it. I don't know, something like that. Enter, save, okay, cool. Now, we're going to run this one through. So, as you can see, off the bat, no circle, no objective, objectives is empty. 5-second delay, it gives us the mission objective, capture the zone, points this up. Your O key, you can see this as well. So if you ever need to find an objective, you can click on this and it'll bring you to the pointer. And that's the other reason for the pointer is it'll, you can give you that hotkey to jump to the objective.
I'm ready.
We're going to grab our boys here, and then just to show you, we'll put only one of them in that circle.
Easy, guys.
And as you can see, nothing's going to happen, no mission complete. But if we get at least 2, since our condition was greater than or equal to 2, it says you capture the zone. And 5-second delay, it should say you win. And there you go. That's the most basic objective you could do. Now, adding on a little bit to this, I'm going to do one other rendition of this, and that's going to be if you want your objective to be to kill someone. This one's going to be a little different, but not too much. So I'm just going to turn these off and then start something new. So, say we got a sniper here, and we want him to take out, I don't know, some bad man. Cool. Perfect. This dude's just going to be chilling over here, and our sniper's going to be here. Now, we're going to give this guy his own tag. We'll do sniper. You got to give the tag of the person, in this case, of the objective is to kill someone, or many people. We'll do, I don't know, target. You can name it whatever you want, obviously. Now we've got our target over there. And here is how our objective is going to work. So you can have the same intro of, the task show. I'm going to skip that just for this case. We're going to go objective kill. Now here's what we're going to need to do. Back into our F9, or I guess preemptively we can put the pointer there, so that people know that is the target. I guess maybe we can put some of his other boys around him so this is the guy you need to kill. Whatever it may be. Now I'm just going to set these guys to a default faction so that they don't attack the sniper. Otherwise it just kind of, messes up the entire point of this. I covered diplomacies in another video. So if you're curious about that, you can look at that video. And here we go. Okay, cool. So we got our pointer. I forgot to name that pointer, so I'm just going to do that real quick. Objective kill underscore pointer. Perfect. Now back into our F9 menu, we're going to go back to tasks. It's going to be roughly the same process. Objective kill. We do kill the target. Enter, click save, okay. Primary objective. We're not going to make it hidden, so state leaving it blank, it'll be default shown, and our point is, I believe, objective underscore kill. I hope that is what I called it. I actually forgot. Objective underscore kill underscore pointer. Okay, just going to copy that and throw it back in there. Perfect. Now, for the trigger part of this, we're not going to do a first trigger since it's just going to be shown right away, but you could. But we're going to go back to entity. Now the tag we want to fulfill this objective isn't going to be our sniper here. It's at least bare bones. It's going to be, our goal is that we want this guy to die, not this guy to do anything. So our condition is going to be focused on the target. So our entity in this case is going to be the tag of our target. So we named him. We don't need a zone. But if you want the target to die in a specific spot, maybe it's a convoy or something, you can also put a zone there, but in this case we don't need that. We're going to go to state, and obviously it's going to need to be dead, and we want at least greater than or equal to one of these. Clearly it's only one target in this case, so we're just going to put one. So in summary, we want someone named target to be dead, and we want it to at least be one of those guys dead for this condition to be fulfilled. Come down here, we can go to scene, task, objective kill, complete, and then the same thing as earlier if you wanted to put that little game over at the end. Perfect. Win. Alright, so here we go. We're going to start this up. Nothing's going to happen. But if you go to your objectives, as you can see, kill the target is already there. You can click on that. We know it's this guy now. And we grab control of him. There you go. You saw the objective complete there for a second at the top, and then mission complete. And there you go. So that's going to be your two most basic forms of objectives in the editor. If you have any questions or think I missed anything or want to see something else covered, then let me know. But if not, enjoy.